Every relationship has its issues and challenges. When you decide to be with someone, it could be like two universes colliding. Different perspectives, unspoken trauma and histories, family differences, cultural differences, all living under one roof. Add a couple kids, add a career, add 7 days of football practice, and you're gonna have issues. The question isn't will you have issues or not. The question is, are you equipped to handle or deal with those issues when they arise? And the stats tell us that you're not very good at it, and we as a society are not very good at it. Divorce rates continue to skyrocket. People are now choosing to not get married. People are choosing to live single. And when people do get together, they find themselves going through so many different relationships. They just simply can't make it work. We are literally watching the breakdown of the family core in our society, and you just have to read one or two history books to know that that's going to have devastating consequences on the quality of our life. What to speak of the millions of couples who are living in silent misery? They have relationship issues. They're not getting along. They're not connected. There's no intimacy. And instead of dealing with those challenges, instead of prioritizing their relationship, they just choose to live in what I call comfortable misery. It's miserable. It sucks. But hey, it's comfortable. It's better than getting back out there, or it's less painful than dealing with those challenges. But I promise you it's not. I want to make sure that you have an awesome relationship, a quality relationship, because then you can have a quality of life. Largely, the quality of your life depends on the quality of your relationship, especially your most intimate relationship. It's important for you to be fulfilled in your relationship. Give yourself that. It's important for your wife. It's important for your kids. It's important for everyone that you interact with throughout the day, because when there is relationship issues, those issues tend to stick with you, and then they permeate, they kind of leak out into all aspects of life. I know, because myself and my wife Sarah, we've been together close to 14 years. And I'm really happy to say that after 14 years of being together, our relationship still feels fresh, still feels new, and is ever growing and expanding. Now, it doesn't mean we don't piss each other off once in a while, or we don't have our own annoyances, or we don't have our own family differences in the way we view money and the way we view life. Of course we do. All relationship has this. It's not about whether that's happening or not. That's universal. So stop thinking that your problems are unique. The problems and challenges you have in your relationship, I promise you, so many other people are having, just not a lot of people talk to them because, again, they're choosing comfortable, silent misery rather than dealing with it and then getting on to some good times. Now, myself and Sarah, we've learned over time to create an intentionally evolving relationship. And, this is what I help men do who are married, men who have been in long-term relationships and want to bring back that adventure, that fun, that passion, both in and outside the bedroom. I can help you do that by doing exactly what I've done with myself and Sarah and what we've done for other couples. Now, I only work with the man part of it because only the man needs to shift. I'm going to share why in just a second. Stick around to the end. And I actually have a little video clip right at the end of this video that'll explain more about creating intentional relationships. But there's no point of even going to that or checking that out. Unless you're willing to do what I'm sharing with you in this video, nothing's going to change. Now, if you do what it is and you take action right away on what I'm about to share with you, you're going to see a difference in the next interaction that you have with your wife. Your relationship will take a positive shift today, now, not tomorrow, next week, right away. That's how powerful this is. Now, if you don't do it, and you decide just to move on or do what you always do, then you'll always get the same results, right? That's the definition of insanity. Keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you want a different result, you have to do something different. If not, you get what you got yesterday and the day before, and who knows how long that's been going on. And by the way, speaking of how long, let me remind you that time is ticking away. Time doesn't wait for nobody. It kills everything. So how much longer are you going to wait until you deal with those relationship issues so that you can have that relationship you want? So that when you guys communicate, it's not like icky or full of little power dynamics, or you can't even have a simple conversation, the pettiness, the nitpickiness. How much longer are you willing to just live with that, diminishing your interactions and quality of life? How much longer are you willing to live without intimacy, without connection, without passion, without sexual tension? Being able to create that. How much longer are you just going to go on living like roommates? How much longer are you going to choose to live in silent misery? And maybe get your jollies off from your right hand, or Instagram girls, or watching prawn and getting caught down that rabbit hole of that just goes nowhere. That's just a rabbit hole of destruction. So if you're ready to make the shift, make the change, then here's what you need to do. I'm going to say it as bluntly as possible so that you get it, which is this.
Man the fuck up.
And take 100% responsibility for the quality of your relationship now. Right now. Now, here's the deal. Here's why most men are going to reject that advice or be like, what? I don't get it, man. I already take responsibility. She's this, she's that, blah, 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 blah. You know, you're going to complain about her. That's how I know you're not taking responsibility. You see, if you're ready to take 100% responsibility, here's what that means. No more bitching, no more complaining, no more calling your wife the ball and chain or relating to her in a negative way. No more being passive in your relationship, wishing it was better instead of making it better. That's 100% responsibility. You see, 100% responsibility means your ability to respond. Responsibility, break down the word. Ability to respond. So yes, your wife may have her own work to do. Yes, she may have some things that needs to be worked out. But here's the deal. You won't be able to support her in working her shit out unless you work your own shit out. You won't be able to elevate her unless you elevate yourself. And you won't be able to lead by example, which is the most important thing that you can do as a man, for your wife, for your family, for your community, is be an example of a strong, masculine man who knows how to lead in his relationship, who knows how to have a great relationship. See, here's what I guarantee you. Whatever the issue or issues, if there are many, are, you are responding to your wife and those issues in a certain way. That I guarantee you. And however you're responding to those issues and to your wife, that's getting you the results you have. If you take responsibility, meaning you transform your ability to respond in a different way, from a different consciousness, from a different point of view, from a different frame of mind, a whole different energy, then you are going to shift that relationship. Here's why. I'm going to give you a simple math equation. Because if you want to change something, you have to change the mechanics of it, not the outside of it. Most people want to change the outside of their life so it looks good and it's nice and everybody goes, wow, what an amazing relationship. But if you really want it, you have to actually go inward and change the dynamics of that relationship. So how do you get to the dynamics? Let's take this equation. 2 + 2 = 4. 2 man plus 2 woman equals 4. The result is the relationship dynamics. Relationship dynamics gives you the experience of your relationship. If you want a different experience in your relationship, if you want to go from a sexless to full of passion relationship, you have to change the dynamics. If you want to go from nitpicky and pettiness and constantly bickering and fighting to fun and plans and going out and friends and social life, then you have to change the dynamics. If you want to stop just hanging out and watching TV at night, but you want to connect and do things, you have to shift the dynamics. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Man plus woman equals relationship dynamics. Now here's the beauty of that equation. Only one number has to change. If a 2 goes to a 4, now the result of the dynamics is no longer 4, it's 6. If the man goes to 8, if the man goes to 10, now we've got a 12 in our relationship dynamics. Now here's the beauty. As you level up, others around you naturally level up. They can't help it because in a way they're kind of put in a position, and it's not like you're doing it on purpose. You're not like cornering them. Don't do it in that spirit. It's an elevation principle. It's the laws of nature. You become like those you hang out with. So here's the deal. When you level up and you start holding different standards, the other person has to kind of check in with themselves and say, oh, well, either I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, which means over time you're choosing to grow apart, or I better level up too. And now here's the beauty. 99% of women will choose to level up. They will choose and they will follow your example. That's why in that equation, the man is so important. That's why I say, just give me the man in the relationship and we could change the entire dynamics and transform that entire relationship. Now, I only work with men because that's all I need. And I think I can only deliver this information to a man from an experience standpoint. If you're a woman and you happen to be watching this video and you're thinking, well, I want a better relationship, the same is true for you. You level up and the dynamics will change because only one number has to change. So you work on you and you level up, and then he'll be put in the position essentially where he has to decide, well, either I'm going to step up or I'm choosing to grow apart. Most men also will choose to step up. Especially because men, we grow through challenge. So when we see our woman stepping up, it's a little bit like, hey, man, I better step my game up. Now, some men are very insecure and won't be able to see that right away. And so they may need a little bit of help. But again, that's why I help men. If you're a woman, you can do it too. But the way that you do it is different than a man. That's why I recommend getting a woman's coach that specifically works with women to help you do that. By the way, if you haven't hit the subscribe button by now, if you haven't hit the like button by now, make sure you do that. Get the bell to get notified because we're developing a whole playlist for men's relationship advice, and I'm going to be speaking lots about dynamics, how they're created, how to shift them, how to recognize them, and really work to shift your dynamics. Because once you know how to shift the dynamics of a relationship, you can then create an ever-evolving relationship both in and outside of the bedroom. If you're still watching this video, you've now come to a point in your journey, in your relationship here and now. Like when Neo sits in front of Morpheus in front of the Matrix. He has to make a choice. You have to make a choice. Either you decide to take 100% responsibility now, which means you're changing your ability to respond. Now, that's not going to happen overnight. Are you going to stop bitching and complaining and have negative thoughts and have negative energies around your relationship right away? Absolutely not. So let's set some realistic expectations. Taking responsibility means you are putting all your excuses, justifications, and reasons aside, and you're solely going on the mindset that I am going to create the relationship I want. And you're fully committed to that. So if you're ready to do that, then great, do it. And it's a personal commitment that you make. If you have to say it out loud, say it out loud. There's power behind that. Write it in the comments below. Say, yes, I'm fully committed, and declare it. See, the more you declare it and the more you state it, the more you're telling your own subconscious mind, this is what I'm creating. This is what I'm committed to, and I will accept nothing less than that. That's the key. Too many of us settle for things, and we have to stop settling. No more settling. You either raise the standards or you don't. But don't settle and suffer in silent misery because you decided to settle and blame your wife or blame anyone around you. Take 100% responsibility. Look, If you're ready to do that and you've already done it, congratulations. I promise you, you're going to feel better, and the next interaction that you have with your wife is going to be better because you're not going to be looking for her to behave or act or have some unspoken expectation anyway. You are simply going to show up fully in control of yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to respond in a way that's going to start to move our relationship to an ever-evolving relationship. Now, if you want to know how to do that and to get to the mechanics of it, then stick around and watch this next little clip that shares all about relationship redesign. Men, relationship and sex issues suck, and when they're left to fester, they can destroy so many good things in your life. Your ability to perform in the bedroom has a direct relationship with your ability to perform outside the bedroom. It affects your self-esteem, your self-confidence. It affects your very motivation because it's your very life force and energy. It's like a virus when there's a problem there because it permeates through all aspects of your life. It doesn't just stay in the relationship or the bedroom. Think about the impact that it's having in your life not to deal with your sex or relationship challenges. Does it take up mental room? Well, I promise you, if it's taking up mental room, it's affecting your performance at work or in your business with other people. It's affecting your performance in your financial decisions. It's affecting every aspect of your life because if it's taking up room up here, it's definitely going to be permeating in your consciousness. I know myself as a business owner, when myself and Sarah are off or we're having challenges, it definitely affects my ability to perform, stay ambitious, and want to conquer the world. When things are great, we're connected, our relationship is in harmony, our sex life is great, I feel like a king and I want to conquer the world. This is the power of having a great sex life and dealing with relationship issues. If not, you got to ask yourself, how much time are you going to just let that fester? How much time are you going to waste? Life is limited. You have only a certain amount of time and nobody knows how long that is. So how much time are you going to waste not having the intimacy, the connection, the fun, the adventure that you want to have? How much time are you going to waste on petty arguments and disconnection and little fights and power struggles between you and your spouse or you and your partner? Do you find yourself daydreaming, finding yourself scrolling, looking at other Instagram girls or, scrolling through people on Facebook or, watching porn or masturbating or dreaming of a different life with a different wife? All because you're not dealing with the issues that are in front of you. The reality is you're not alone in this. Most men are actually feeling like this, but very few people are talking about it, and that's detrimental. That's why we're doing this work. It's so important. We have to address these issues because not only does it permeate in your life, it permeates out into society as a whole. We can see that divorce rates are higher than ever before. Premature ejaculation, unsatisfied bedroom life, affairs are all skyrocketing because people aren't feeling intimate, connected, or they can't be themselves with their most intimate or loved partner. If you're anything like me, you're like, no way am I allowing that shit in my life. No way am I going down that train. And if there's a problem, I'm going to do something about it because that's manning up. That's taking responsibility. That's what it means to be a man in this world. It means to take responsibility, man the fuck up, and do something about the challenges in your life. And on the other side of that challenge, not only do you have a better sex life, a better relationship, but the lessons that you're going to learn is going to translate into better financial decisions, better health decisions, your workouts, everything will improve when you improve your sexual energy. So if you're ready to take the next steps and learn how to master your sexual energy, redesign your relationship, and become a powerhouse man, check out my one-on-one coaching program called the Powerhouse Man Training Program. The link is in the descriptions. I invite you to go click it right now. I'll see you inside the training.